My name is Felicity. My daughter's names are Charisma, Zania, Zakaria, and this is Zoe. I picked the name Zoe because of the definition. And the definition is the abundant life that we have through the sacrifice of Jesus Christ. Being a mother to Zoe has allowed me to be very grateful. Like, it's the sense of gratitude I can't really put into words. Because as much as I was distraught about how I ended up having her, I am beyond grateful for having her. So when I found out that I had a positive pregnancy test, I was very sad. I was very discouraged. I was pretty much determined to get rid of it. The reason why it was so hard for me to see a positive pregnancy test is because my life had just been uprooted. I had just moved from New York. I had just finished my bachelor's degree. I had started doing online for my master's program with Liberty. And the whole point of me moving down here was so I can be on campus. And I fell in love with the convocations, and I was looking forward to making that my new life. And when I seen that it was a positive pregnancy test that resulted from someone taking advantage of me, it just made me feel like I just wasted my time. I was in a dark space, and instantly all I wanted to do was get an abortion. So I found Blue Ridge Pregnancy Center from online. I just was searching for some type of support, some type of guidance, some type of way for me to be able to let someone know what's going on with me. And I just was very lonely because I was by myself. I had moved down here. I didn't know anyone at all. And it was a lot for me to, deal with at that moment. So I felt like, well, because it did result from a rape, I should have it. I should be able to be okay with going through it. It's early enough. Like, I was only, at the time, I was only 5 weeks along. And I'm like, well, it's nothing developed. It's not anything really there. It hasn't had a heartbeat. Like, it was a lot of things that was going through my mind where I'm like, okay, well, this might be a good exception. And then when I did go to Blue Ridge Pregnancy Center, I was very blessed to be able to have Rebecca as my mentor.
Hi, I'm Rebecca Brett. I am a patient advocate here at Blue Ridge Pregnancy Center. Felicity came in October of 2024, and she came in 2 days prior to her scheduled abortion appointment.
And being able to, have that conversation with Rebecca, not having any support at all, like to actually tell my story in person. And she was the first person that allowed me to do that and was very gracious.
When I met her, you could see that she was in crisis. You could see she was in crisis mode, but you could also see the strength within her.
It reminded me of the hope that we have in Jesus Christ, and also the love that we have. Because where I was at, it was a dark space. I felt like I was drowning in self-pity and depression, and it was just so heavy. And by talking to her, it allowed me to remember how gracious our Heavenly Father is.
And I believe the turning point in our appointment with her was her ultrasound. During the ultrasound, Melinda, the nurse, and I, we were very conscientious of what Felicity was feeling and making sure she was comfortable and she knew she was safe with us, and that we were right there to help her at any point that she was uncomfortable or scared.
I'm Melinda Powell, and I've been working here for 13 years as one of the nurses. When I first met Felicity, I had already been informed of the fact that she was a victim of assault. And right away when we hear that, it kind of puts us on high alert, wanting to know how we can help this woman, what trauma she may have been through, and just how we can come alongside and help her. And I think in Felicity's case, seeing that heartbeat was the decision maker for her. She had already planned to have an abortion, already had an appointment for an abortion. But then she saw that little heartbeat, and after that, she said she just could not do it.
The ultrasound that I did have at Blue Ridge Pregnancy Center was the first time that I heard the heartbeat. And it was in that moment where I was like, it's no going back. Like, she has a heartbeat. Even though the circumstance was horrible And even though it was something where I had initially thought it would be a good reason, it's not a good reason because God still values my baby. The Blue Ridge Pregnancy Center allowed me to have support, not only in the moment of whether or not I'm going to keep my baby or whatever choice I decide, but also throughout my entire pregnancy. It was amazing for me to be able to have mommy mentorship with Rebecca because, again, I was in a situation where I didn't know anyone at all. So she was the one person I was able to confide with and explain a lot of the different dynamics that I was going through. And I love the fact that she was always reiterating how good our Heavenly Father is and how loving He is. And that allowed me to be able to see the light, especially in the early moments when I just was still going through a lot of trauma and PTSD symptoms related to that. So it allowed me to be able to feel like I had that support and that my voice was valued and heard.
So I was her mentor for that, and she and I really had more chance to just get together and talk. And she was able to take advantage of that and use that and our pregnancy life skills classes that we offer in the Life Center.
That was really awesome because I was able to see other moms that were in similar time frames as me when it came to the due date. So that was awesome. And then being able to meet the different mentors that came and share their experience and expertise pertaining to delivery and labor. Like, I was really nervous at that time. Even though I had other kids, it was still a lot to process. Oh, and I also enjoyed the fact that we were able to get prizes on like a weekly basis. I looked forward to seeing what amazing things we were going to be able to get. I am grateful for the baby shower. The baby shower helped me out a lot with the things that I needed because I wasn't able to work. I had a really difficult, tough pregnancy, so any support that I was able to have was such a blessing. One program that was a bit longer, it was 15 weeks, was Embrace Grace. And that was another way how I was able to be blessed through Blue Ridge Pregnancy Center because I wouldn't even known about it had I not had the referral.
Well, hello, my name is Judy Taylor. I appreciate the opportunity to speak on behalf of Embrace Grace and the Blue Ridge Pregnancy Center. Embrace Grace is a ministry to come alongside single pregnant women. And single pregnant women have many struggles, and we all need to know Jesus. The invitation is open, and it's just an opportunity to share Christ with them in a loving way, but then at the same time support them throughout their pregnancy.
They have different lessons that's geared towards God's goodness, and it was just something that stood out every single class.
We give all the moms a baby shower, so we got to love on her that way. And one of the co-leaders, her name is Julie. They became really good friends.
She was there for my pregnancy when it came to me having my baby. She stayed the night with me, and my prayer was I would have somewhere for my kids to go. And she had arranged for her to have her family to have my other girls. So she took care of every detail when it came to labor and delivery. And then because I was dealing with PTSD because of what happened to me, I didn't feel safe at my last home. And her husband decided to buy a house for me to be able to rent out. So we were able to be blessed amazingly from being able to meet her. With that being said, my entire life has changed. I can't express how much my entire life has changed. All my girls love being a big sister. And right now, their biggest, their biggest fight right now is who gets to hold her, right when they get off the bus or when I pick them up from school. So they absolutely adore Zoe, and it just gives me so much joy. It just gives me joy to be able to see her, and I love holding her. I hate when she cries. I'm like instantly want to pick her up. Like, it just makes me very grateful that I decided to give her a chance to live.